Hey, it's Drybear. And today I want to quickly talk about the OBOL Curiosities vendor, what happened with the patch and the bug fix, and why it was so confusing before. In the beta and during the first couple weeks of launch, we saw in the OBOL vendor there would be the glow of the tier quality of the items in the OBOL vendor, and everyone kind of understandably assumed that meant that when you click that, it would give you Ancestral or give you Sacred. Sometimes you roll OBOLs and it's a low item value or low level for the item. It was a lot of confusing aspects, and with the recent patch, some changes went live that cleared this up for us, so I'm going to help you understand that today. But first, you should come hang out with me on my live stream. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/Drybear. If you don't come hang out with me in the community, the next time it's hot and you put a fan on you, it's going to be a little too cold with the fan on you, but a little too hot with the fan off of you. First, let's look at the patch notes for the supposed issue that was fixed here. I don't know if this is actually just a bug or if there was just a feature that was not fully implemented that they decided to scrap and they called it an issue. I don't know, but this is the line you're looking for right here, which is fix an issue where the Purveyor of Curiosities menu would erroneously display item quality on some items. This didn't affect what item quality was available to gamble for. This part is the most important aspect, and I do believe this to be true, that the glow on the item itself in-game did not have any impact on the item that would drop for you. It was just something that was there. Now, things like this don't really happen all that much or ever, where a dynamic rotating system that changes every hour, that displays differently in a shop menu, that doesn't kind of accidentally happen. So I have doubts that this is actually, some kind of issue that sparked up. What I think it actually was a system to help you understand how the leveling works in Diablo 4, and it just ended up being more confusing than not having it there in the first place, and I guess they just wanted to call it a bug. Now, of course, it could just be a bug, and I could be wrong. It just seems kind of far-fetched that that was the case. So, if you didn't know, when you go to the OBOL vendor, you can unlock all of these items for the amount of OBOLs that you've collected through events in the game. These are the slots that are available for your class, and each one has a specific OBOL price that you can spend. You can spend that price, and it'll randomly give you an item of that type, of a certain level requirement, and it'll drop in your inventory based on your level and your class, and it'll roll either magic or legendary or rare, and it'll give you the stats listed on it, and it can be either normal, sacred, or ancestral. What was happening before the patch was that you'd randomly get ancestral glows on some of these items, and sacred glows on some of these items, and normal glows on some of these items, and sometimes that would rotate or change based on when you looked at the vendor or what vendor you were looking at, which was super bizarre. I think that that probably was a bug itself, the fact that it was changing. But there is a secret system that exists in this game that most people don't know about, and that is your character level does alter the items that come from this, right? So if you're like level 41 and you unlocked the Capstone 1 dungeon and you entered into World Tier 3 and you go to the OBOL vendor, because of your level, your likelihood of getting sacred items and below, even just sacred items of that value, is drastically reduced. And I think what was happening is the glow that was showing on the items was relative to your character level to let you know when those get unlocked. In fact, most of the testing that I've done or seen done has shown that you need to be at least level 73 in order for ancestral items to even come out of the vendor at all. And if you were to pay attention to this vendor as you were leveling up your character, the glows would start to change because your character level was unlocking new higher quality drops from the vendor itself. Now, these all show level 42. As I just showed by clicking on this, the focus says level 42. When I get the focus, it's level 96. It's equal to my character. If I do it again, I get an ancestral version, level 96. If I do it again, I get a magic version that's ancestral, level 96. So it's based on your character level, your class, and what's available to your class, and the item that you're rolling for. So I think that's what the system was. And it actually confused people more than it was helping in any way. People thought that based on the hour that you roll it, if you came in, sometimes Amulet was glowing ancestral and Ring was glowing sacred. So you had to wait until Ring turned ancestral, and then you would save up your obols and spend it that way. None of that was real. That was all just in our heads. It was all the rolling was exactly the same. It just was based on your character level. So if you've been going to the OBOL vendor and you're like level 45 and you did capstone and you're not getting sacred items from the vendor, I believe you have to wait until about 53 in order for sacred items to drop. Same thing for ancestral. You need to be about level 73. Remember that tier 3, your sacred tier, starts technically at level 50. That's when the recommended level is for the capstone dungeon. That's what the game considers the start of tier 3. And the same thing for tier 4. It's considered the start at level 70. And so for your vendor to level up, you as a character need to level up. And that is what was going on. So if you're not getting the items that you want, some of that's just pure RNG and just bad luck, but also based on your character level. So if you're using the OBOL vendor to get items for you, especially primarily I use the OBOL vendor to roll rings so that I can get ring-specific legendary aspects that I want to extract, or to get yellow items, which could be very good that I could convert into a viable legendary item as a replacement for something that I have, or when I'm making a new build that I'm working on. So that's what I use it for, but that is hopefully a cure for the situation. I got a low roll on Shielding Storm, unlucky, but you can see that it is ancestral and it is my character level as well. So all of those tend to be where it is. If you're not getting what you want, you might need to level up your character. The glows are gone because honestly, they were way more confusing than they were before. But that's all I got for you today. Hopefully this clears this up for you. If you found value in the video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm, and I'll see you on my live stream. If you enjoyed yourself today, leave a like down below. You can support me and my work on Patreon and view Patreon exclusive content, link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.